ready to elect Terry McAuliffe as our 74th governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. That's what I like to hear. I don't know about you, but I'm proud to be a Democrat, and when we elect Democrats in the Commonwealth of Virginia, good things happen. Let's keep it going. You know, 7.5 years ago, Terry McAuliffe was elected to be our 72nd governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. I was elected to be lieutenant governor, his partner, and Mark Herring, our attorney general. And so many good things have happened in Virginia in the last 7.5 years because of his big, his bold ideas, his vision, his ability to deliver on what he says. That's why this November, Terry McAuliffe will be elected our 74th governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. He brought thousands and thousands of jobs to Virginia. Virginia is the #1 state in this great country of ours in which to do business. Restored over 200,000 rights to convicted felons. He made sure that we expanded Medicaid. Now 500,000 Virginians have access to health care. He promoted reproductive rights for our women. He stopped discrimination against the LGBTQ community. He helped us expand pre-K to all children in Virginia. And yes, the G3 program, he has allowed us and helped us make sure that our students have access to training and can get back into the workforce. And while, yes, we've had a tough year, COVID-19, isn't it great to be here in person with no mask on? That is because of democratic leadership. My fellow Virginians, we have come far too far to go back. We cannot let the party of no take over again in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're where we are today because of the leadership of great Democrats. And you know what? Nobody running like Terry McAuliffe would be the person he is without the support of his wife and his wonderful family. I want you to join me in welcoming Dorothy McAuliffe. She was our 72nd First Lady of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and she's going to be our 74th Lady. Ladies and gentlemen, the 74th First Lady of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Dorothy McAuliffe.
It's wonderful. What can I say? First, I want to thank Pam and Ralph Northam for our years of friendship and their incredible service to the Commonwealth. And to all of you who are here tonight, thank you. Thank you. And to our great campaign team, thank you to our great campaign team, our co-chairs, and our broad, diverse coalition of over 350 leaders from across Virginia who have stepped up to help us reach this moment. It's because of you that my best friend and the most wonderful dad in the world has made history tonight as the first Democrat to ever be nominated twice for the office of the governor of the great Commonwealth of Virginia. And I am so proud. This campaign has been built on three things that Terry cares most about. And that is people, that is policy, and that is positivity. And there is one thing that I know for sure about my husband. He's going to work hard every single day for each and every one of you because he has fought his entire life for the values of our Democratic Party. And he has always fought for those who are most in need. In fact, my proudest moment as First Lady was standing beside Terry on the steps of the Virginia State Capitol when he used his executive authority to restore the rights of the voting rights of over 200,000 Virginians. More than any other governor in U.S. history. And even though the Republicans tried to stop him by suing him twice, he never backed down from the fight. That's right. I've watched Terry fight for people for the past 32 years. And I know he will get out of bed, actually, if he goes to bed, and he will fight for you every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of our great president, Joe Biden, the once and future governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe.
What a great night for Virginia, huh? Are you ready to light it up? First of all, I want to thank my beautiful wife of 32 years, Dorothy McCall, for all the great work that she had done. I want to thank my family who has endured many campaigns and have always been there at my side. 3 of my 5 children are here tonight. I want to thank Jack, Sally, and Peter McCall for joining me here tonight. To my amazing co-chairs, the one and only Senate Pro Tem Louise Lucas, the greatest mayor in the history of Richmond, Virginia, LeVar Stoney, and our history-making majority leader, Charnel Herring. Thank you for your leadership. And I want to thank my special friend, the first woman speaker in the history of Virginia, Eileen Fillercorn, for the great work that she's done. And our great leader of the Senate, Dick Saslaw, who knows so much, he actually knew Thomas Jefferson. But folks, look at this group up here. Can you imagine what we can get done for Virginia with this group? And most importantly, I want to thank you. All of the supporters who were in this room and all the people who came out across this Commonwealth of Virginia, who worked day in and day out to help us have this huge win tonight. This would not have been possible. Thank you. Give yourselves a great round of applause. Thank you. Folks, we launched this campaign about 6 months ago on a simple idea that Virginia has some very big challenges ahead. And I've said we've got to go big, we've got to be bold, and we need seasoned leadership to move us forward and to lift up all Virginians. I don't have to tell you about the progress that we have made over the last 8 years under my administration and Governor Northam. We are a different state than we were 8 years ago, and we are not going back. I want you to know, as your 72nd governor, I was proud to get out of bed every single day to fight for you, to lift up all Virginians. I love that job as governor because there's no other job where you can help people, get out and fight for people and lift up and help those people most in need. I was very proud of our record, 200,000 new jobs, 1,100 economic development projects, $20 billion in new capital, and personal income went up 14%. Under our administration, folks, everybody got lifted up, everybody. Unemployment dropped in every single city and county in Virginia. And in rural Virginia, every single rural county saw their unemployment drop by nearly 50%, folks. That's what you get with Democrats. And as you know, most of those rural counties, they are Republican counties. But you know, it didn't matter to me. I was willing to work with reasonable Republicans who wanted to work with us to create jobs, to fix transportation, to work on workforce development. We leaned in on clean energy to tackle climate change and create those jobs of the 21st century. We invested in education, expanding pre-K to tens of thousands of children in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I was very proud, under my administration, I smartly put my wife in charge of it, childhood nutrition. Children are hungry to learn. They cannot learn if they are just plain hungry. And under our administration, with Dorothy's leadership, 13 million more meals served to needy children here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. But last year, as you all know, the COVID-19 pandemic put all of our progress at risk. All across America, families have been devastated. Right here in Virginia, 180,000 people lost their job because of COVID. Tens of thousands of people today are worried about being evicted. Their lives got upended. And thanks to the great leadership of Governor Ralph Northam and President Joe Biden, we have made important strides in our recovery. You know what? Getting shots in people's arms and getting people jobs here in Virginia. That's what you get with Democrats. And you know what else? And we were all being able to safely gather here tonight to celebrate. But let me tell you, folks, the road ahead is going to be long. It's going to be tough. The remnants of COVID are going to be with us for a long time. We have to build back a better, stronger Virginia. And that's the challenge that we face. We cannot be complacent. We cannot be satisfied. We got to build a better education system, the best economy in the country. But you know this, complacency is not a word that is in my vocabulary. I did this before with the experience of leading us through the Great Recession and sequestration. I got out of bed every single day to lift up the lives of every single Virginian. My plan for governor is very clear. I promise you as governor, we will create hundreds of thousands of new jobs. We will have great paying jobs. We will have paid sick days here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We will have paid family medical leave. And I promise you, within 3 years, we will get the $15 minimum wage raise for every single Virginian. I promise you that we'll reduce health care costs. And I promise you that starts with taking on the drug companies. Did you know that during COVID, that the drug companies raised their prices on 1,000 drugs? So I promise you as governor, I will be after them. I will lower those drug prices. I will have a sunlight law so we can see if they're ripping off people. And my message to pharmaceutical companies, you come into Virginia, I will not tolerate you ripping off one single Virginian for their prescription drug costs. And I promise you, we will invest $2 billion in education to take it to the next level. We will raise the teacher pay above the national average for the first time in Virginia history. Why? We've got to prepare our students for those 21st century jobs. And I also make this promise to every Virginian. I promise you within 2 years, every single Virginian will have broadband access in their home. Folks, that is why I'm running for governor, to create great paying jobs, to reduce health care costs, and to build the best, most equitable education system in the country. That's why I'm running for governor. But you know what? My opponent is running for governor for a different reason. Glenn Youngkin has said, and this is a direct quote, Donald Trump represents so much of why I am running for governor. Think about that. With all the issues you're facing with COVID, the reason he's running for governor is because of Donald Trump? Are you kidding me? And listen to this. And Donald Trump has said that Youngkin, and I quote, has my complete and total endorsement. But why do you think Glenn Youngkin has Donald Trump's complete and total endorsement? Because when it comes to issues, Donald Trump and Glenn Youngkin are aligned. Glenn Youngkin literally, folks, has one policy. One, an election integrity plan based on Donald Trump's conspiracy theory about the 2020 election. That is all he has. You know what? My first policy was on education. I have 15 different policies and over 300 pages about lifting up Virginians. And Glenn Youngkin, after months and months and months, has won about the Trump conspiracy theory on health care. Does he have a plan? No. He has no plan for the future, but we know that he is opposed to the bipartisan Medicaid expansion here in Virginia. Think about that. The business community, the healthcare providers, even mainstream Republicans all supported it. Glenn Youngkin does not support providing critical health care to 550,000 Virginians. Oh, and remember those Trump rallies? Well, Glenn Youngkin's first rally after he bought the Republican nomination, what were the issues that he said that night that got him fired up? Banning abortions and putting more guns on the streets. Those are not our priorities, and in fact, they're not the priorities of even most Republicans. I know that because Ralph and I, we were willing to work in a bipartisan way with reasonable Republicans who wanted to work with us on big, bold issues, on jobs, on transportation, on health care. But let's be clear. Let me be crystal clear. Glenn Youngkin is not a reasonable Republican. Reasonable Virginia Democrats and Republicans believe that the most important issue facing Virginia is building a great economy. Glenn Youngkin believes that the most important issue facing Virginia is a conspiracy theory about the 2020 election. Reasonable Virginia Democrats and Republicans spend their time trying to make sure that the government works efficiently. Glenn Youngkin, listen to this one. Glenn Youngkin spends his July 4th every year with Ted Cruz. I remind all Virginians that Ted Cruz was the author of the government shutdown, which cost so many Virginia families and would wreak havoc on Northern Virginia and Hampton Roads communities. That's what he is. But, I mean, think about that for a second. He vacations with Ted Cruz. I mean, who does that? They don't even like Ted Cruz in Texas, let alone Virginia. Reasonable Virginia Democrats and Republicans understand how necessary it was to get vaccines and everyone so that we could turn the page on COVID. But listen to this. Glenn Youngkin said that the law that gave Virginia $80 million for vaccine distribution was, quote, unnecessary. Reasonable Virginia Democrats and Republicans try to build unity in our state. Glenn Youngkin tries to divide our state with his mean-spirited attack on LGBTQ folks here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and he is against anyone who disagrees with his personal views. And I can tell you this firsthand. I went all over the globe. I recruited businesses from all 50 states. I brought the biggest names, the biggest corporations, the biggest employers to this state to build and pay high-paying jobs. I can tell you this, folks. There is not one business that wants to move to Virginia where they have a governor who is putting a social agenda on us that puts up walls around our state. Ralph and I and the legislature, we knock those walls down, and we will not let Glenn Youngkin put walls back up here in Virginia. So let's be clear. Glenn Youngkin is a job destroyer. Do not forget it. So you hear all this and you say, well, how can he possibly win in Virginia? Well, you know how? there are 75 million reasons why Glenn Youngkin can win. He has already pledged $75 million of his own private equity money to buy the governor's mansion. And remember, folks, it can work. He spent $9 million of his own money to buy 7,000 votes that he needed to win an extreme right-wing convention that was controlled by Trump loyalists. So, folks, listen to me closely. This is the choice in this election. Glenn Youngkin is running for governor because of Donald Trump. I am running for governor because of you. So in closing, let me say this. We cannot let Glenn Youngkin do to Virginia what Donald Trump has done to our country. We cannot allow it. But I need your help. I need your help every single day so that I compete against his private equity money. I have to build the largest small dollar fundraising operation in the history of the Commonwealth of Virginia. I need you today to go to terrymccauliffe.com, whatever you can afford. Give money every single day. We will not let him buy it. You Virginians will stop him from buying this election. So folks, together we can do this. We can lift everybody up, create jobs, lower health care costs, build the best education, most equitable education system in the country. I promise you this. I promise you. I will fight every single day for you. Every single day I will get out of bed. You will have my total energy to make sure that Virginia leads America out of the COVID crisis. This is what Democrats do. Let's go on to victory on November 2nd. Thank you very much.